Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Of all the people that I quote and have quoted over the years as the rabbi here, perhaps I have quoted no one more than my own grandmother. She was an extraordinary woman who lived during some very hard times in human history and Jewish history. Her life, in some ways, reflected the movement of the Jewish people from Europe to America. She had great insight into people. And as an old woman, someone who had been a refugee, someone who had worked in a factory, someone who suffered from visible Parkinson's disease at the end of her life, she retained a great sense of dignity. There were two things that I always remember her describing people as. There were two categories. One had to do with little children, that a very sweet, cute, adorable baby, little child. She would always say, that kid has chen. Chen I know as grace. And that is that little child has something special, something gracious about them. It could be seen in their eyes, it could be seen in their smile, it could be seen in the way they related to people. And with adults, the way she would give a compliment would be to talk about them as having dignity, like herself. Dignity is the capacity to hold your head high. It's reflected in humility. It's reflected in empathy. It's reflected in being able to stand above the crowd, as it were, when things are going wrong. We're living, you know, and I know, in really challenging times. And as we thought things were getting easier, what we've learned is that things have not gotten much easier. In fact, we're challenged again. We thought we had it down. You know, we don't have that much control in this world, so we give it over, we do the best we can, and then things will be better, and we'll return to that place of our control. And once again, we see we don't have that much control in our world. There are two things, I believe, that can help us during these times. One has to do with chen, or has to do with grace. We read a psalm every day during this month before Rosh Hashanah and through the holidays, in which we say, one thing I ask of God, and that is that I may dwell in his house forever. Now, obviously, that's not possible, and that has to be also seen as a metaphor. That is to find ourselves in a place where we are spiritually comforted, where we realize that we're not alone, and that we're where we can retain hope. The other thing is found in this week's Torah reading, where it says, lo lehitalem, which means don't stand idly by. And this one has to do with not on our dependence on things going well or on forces greater than us, but realizing that we also have to take action. The world is calling to us, and we look to God for comfort. We look to God to give us hope, as we know hope has done us well in the past, but also realize that we can't stand idly by. We have to be in the most important conversations and behave in the most responsible ways possible. I wish you a good Shabbos. I wish you a good week. I look forward to being able to see you again, hopefully soon.